Hi everyone. I thought I'd just go live in the community and out to our different channels because it's been a little while since I went on a live. So I thought I'd come on live and share with you some news, some announcements. I know a lot of you like to do some reflections, and you know that I'm really passionate about reflective learning. So I thought I'd reflect on some of my learnings over the last week or so and share some of those with you and also spend a bit of time telling you about some upcoming events that we have running in the community. So, without any further ado, I thought I'd start by sharing a bit of a major announcement. So, a little change to my situation. So, as some of you know, for the last couple of years through COVID, I have been working on growing my own business as well as doing associate work, along with trying to grow the L&D Mastermind community. So that's gone really, really well. However, earlier this year there was a sort of a lot of a lack of work, should we say? I think a lot of uncertainty in the market out there, and so I made the decision to go back to full-time contracting. So as of last week, I started a full-time contract again. So I'm back L&D contracting, and so for the next 6 months, I am pleased to have joined the post office on the largest transformation program happening in Europe right now. So it's a really exciting project to be working on, fascinating what's happened. And sort of the history and the background to it, which I'll go through with you perhaps on another day. But what is really exciting is being able to be a part of a transformation program that's really going to make a difference to a well-known organization and make a difference to the lives of a lot of people who work within the post office. So only a week in, so I'm still really, really the new kid and trying to find out everything and understand everything. But I'm excited to get back involved in a really, really big project and get my teeth into something. So what does that mean for the community? Well, of course, I will still be running the L&D Mastermind community. In fact, my plans are to run more stuff, just that will have to happen outside of obviously the working commitments that I have with my contract. So probably more evening stuff, weekend stuff, lunch break stuff, but I will still be around and still be available. So please don't think I'm going anywhere or anything like that. Just a slight change to my situation, but hopefully lots of things that I can share with you and learnings as I get back into the kind of day to day of working in an L&D role in a major organization on a major transformation program, as I say. So exciting times. Um, so thinking about some of my reflections from my sort of first week back in a major organization and back in a major program. So last week I was able to head down to Learning Tech. I don't know if anyone else had the opportunity to go to Learning Technologies at the Excel in London, but it was a fantastic event. Really, really good to see so many people that I know and bump into people and say hi. But the reason I headed down there, and it was just a flying visit. If I didn't manage to catch you, I am so sorry. The reason why I headed down, I'll get my words out, to Learning Tech last week was actually to because I got an invite to an event by Bob Mosher. So for those of you who don't know Bob Mosher, I'd really encourage you to go and find his work. 5 Moments of Need. He's really, really seen as the godfather of learning in the flow of work. And he's been doing this stuff for well over 2 decades now. So it was an absolute privilege to go and see him. And Bob was talking about learning in the flow of work and what that means to him and kind of his findings, as I say, over studying this stuff for 2 decades. I'm hoping to get him on to either an L&D Mastermind Live or an event with us at the L&D Mastermind at some point in the future. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But my learnings from spending that time with Bob, obviously, you guys know from some of these from getting to know me, I am really, really passionate about learning in the flow of work and really thinking about how we learn and how we ensure that we provide learning just in time for the learner. So it was really fascinating to hear his thoughts on it. And some of the things that I realized from being in there is that a lot of what I've done so far and thought was learning in the flow of work was actually helping people to learn at work, which is good. But actually, if we think about learning in the flow of work, what we want to do is to get to a stage where people are learning while they're working. Because if we think of traditional ways in which we thought of learning in the flow of work, we've thought, okay, we'll provide them with some job aids, we'll give them a knowledge base, a wiki to look at, maybe some e-learning or some micro learning that they can do. Uh, but all of those things involve the learner or the end user going away from their job and going and learning. Whereas if we think about the ultimate in learning in the flow of work is actually while I'm working, I need to know that information. That moment of need, I need that information. So, when I'm sat at my counter and I've got a queue of 20 people going out the door, I haven't got time to go and look up the job, to go through a wiki or look through a 42-page PDF to try and find the answer to my question. I need it in that moment. And that was a really, really light bulb moment for me, particularly again, thinking about with my project that I'm working on at the moment with the post office, thinking about actually how do we as L&D professionals provide just-in-time learning. So at that moment of need, when I'm dealing with my customer, I have that information that I need right there, and so it's something that I'm really going to be exploring over the next few months. Um, the other thing that was really interesting that Bob talked about was really how we actually teach people. So, he was talking about actually looking at the tasks that people do, the processes, and breaking that into steps, so that actually at any moment along those steps, if someone gets stuck, they can find the answer for that particular step. So rather than um, giving them all the information, i.e., the 42-page PDF, and I've got to look through this and try and find the bit where I'm stuck, actually getting right to the nub of what the person's stuck on. So that was really, really interesting. So as I say, hopefully get Bob on to talk to you guys live in the next few weeks, months. But honestly, go and look up his stuff. It's fascinating. It's really, really interesting, the research he's done. The other reflection that I had last week was actually a slight personal one, but also to do with learning and development. I had a new car delivered last Friday. Don't get excited. It's nothing fancy or anything like that. In fact, actually, I've downgraded my car because I had a lovely car sat on the drive. It's going nowhere at the moment because I'm working from home so much. It seemed daft to be spending all that money on an expensive car. So I've downsized my car. And the excitement of the first day with a new car, you want to see it, you want to drive it, you want to play with all the buttons and all this kind of stuff. So the new car arrives. It was fantastic, apart from the fact that one of the door handles didn't work. In fact, it was the passenger side door handle. And so my wife, Carly, the kids, all that kind of stuff, when they're sat in that door, they can't get out. I've got to jump out the car, go all the way around, open the door for them, and let them out. Which really took the shine off of the excitement of a brand new car, and is also a flipping pain in the neck, and not very user friendly or anything like that. Fortunately, it's a fault. They're going to get it fixed, all that kind of stuff. But it just takes the shine off of anything. So why am I telling you the story? Well, often in L&D, we're so excited about the new shiny thing, or to show people this e-learning or anything like that, and this e-learning looks fantastic. But it's the little details that matter. So, for instance, again, new project working with the post office, and I'm going through all the mandatory learning and the compliance and all that kind of stuff that you have to do, and it's lovely, it's shiny, it's all digital and all this kind of stuff. But it's the little details that you notice, and maybe it's because I've worked in L&D for far too long, but it's the little details, like when pictures don't line up and text doesn't line up properly. It just doesn't feel right on the screen, and you think, oh, no one with a graphic design eye had a look over this. When there's little spelling mistakes on the screen, again, it's the little details that people pick up. Or what really infuriated me was some of the e-learning, and this is not just aimed at the e-learning I've done in the last week. It's aimed at a lot of e-learning that I've done at the past. Is where you have to do so many clicks to get to something. So, for instance, with this one, when you do the assessment at the end of the e-learning, you've got to first of all click to lock in your answer. Then when you get to answer all the questions, it then asks you if you'd like to go back and review any of the questions. So then you've got to click to say, no, I don't want to review the questions. Then it asks you again, would you like to submit your answers to these questions, which I again have to click another box to say, yes, I want to submit these actions. Then it asks me for a final time, are you sure you want to submit these answers and for them to be marked? Yes. And so I'm clicking about 4 times to submit the answer to the question. Um, and it just is frustrating for learners. I found anyhow, and it's little details like that that sometimes the system looks fancy, it looks flashy, it looks lovely, it's all beautiful, but little details like that, clicking, it just got really frustrating after a while, having to put so many clicks in. So yeah, one reflection for me, just when we're doing things, just beware of the little details, because the little details are the things that can sometimes really trip us up. In terms of upcoming events, so don't forget, everyone, this Friday is the Clubhouse Natter. So Christina runs the Clubhouse Natter for us. It's every second Friday of the month at 9 a.m. You can find it on the Clubhouse app. So if you haven't downloaded the Clubhouse app, download that and find Christina or the L&D Mastermind Natter on there. And every Friday, 9 a.m. Christina, sorry, not every Friday, every second Friday of the month, uh, Christina will be running those natters for us. The other things to make you aware of: the new approved supplier directory is now live on the ldmastermind.com website. So if you check that out, so ldmastermind.com, go on there. The new supplier directory is live. And the website is running a little bit quicker. But the main thing is the new directory is in there. So approved suppliers, I will send something out to you in the next few weeks, and we can arrange some demos, give you guys some time to have a look at the new system and show you some of the capabilities, some of the new things that you'll be able to do with the new supplier directory. But it is all working and it's all been checked and it all works fantastic. Which leads me on to my final thing, which was to say, as you know, I've been working on a lot of things to do with the website, and speeding it up and apps and all this kind of stuff. Um, I am going to put all of that on hold at the moment, while obviously I focus on the project and the program that I'm working on at the moment. But also, one of the things I'm doing with the rest of the L&D Mastermind team is really trying to think about everything that we had planned, everything that we're doing, and making sure that it aligns properly with our purpose and vision of our L&D Mastermind community. So it's something that's really, really important to me, that we're not just doing stuff for the sake of doing it, but that they really add value and they really align with our purpose and vision of bringing L&D professionals together, and giving you a safe space in which to connect and learn and grow, in a diverse range of thoughts, and sharing our experiences, and doing so with psychological safety, and enabling people to thrive in their careers ultimately, is what this community is all about. So we're realigning everything to the vision and the purpose. So look out for more announcements about that. Look out for more announcements about some of the events that we have lined up and some of the things that we're going to do to really align or realign this community back to its original purpose and vision that we set out with when we created it. But that's just about it for now for me. I've got to go and take Thomas to his football training, and yeah, I will drop in over the coming weeks and days to tell you more about what I'm working on, but also about events and things that we've got planned for the L&D Mastermind community. So one final time before I go, do not forget, this Friday, 9 a.m., Clubhouse Natter with Christina. Check that out, folks. Get yourselves onto that event, and I will announce more events soon as I can. But for now, take care, everyone. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.